One of the feature matchups on a classic weekend of footy here at Suncorp. And a bobbling kick-off off the boot of Reynolds. And here comes Lindsay Smith. They've been put under extreme pressure here. The kick by Reynolds comes down right near the goal line. And the Broncos have pinched it, and Ben Hunt, the veteran.
Yeah, the veteran Ben Hunt, he flies high. And there was two veteran Panthers.
Tolau thought about playing left. He went to Yo. Now Cleary, a chip over the top. Tungor is there to take the catch and put it down. Ah, that's quality.
Well, we rewound to round one over in Vegas. This exact play. Nathan Cleary, little chip over the top for Tungor.
Fourth tackle kick once more. Squeezes it down that right-hand corridor. And again, the cool hand of Cobbo. Ah, there's a big play by Cleary. Now Edwards, dummy to Cleary, who got absolutely poleaxed. He didn't get the ball, he still got smashed, but he's up and he's at it again. And he goes to Martin, who's trying to bash his way over the line. There is a penalty. And the Panthers have taken the front. They sweep left again. Reynolds with a dummy, can't get through. And they've given away a penalty on play 5. This is intense. Uh-oh. Wow, he gets buried, Nathan Cleary.
Stags.
That pass that's almost a good old-fashioned hospital pass.
He looks like he's rock hard. 40-20, he shaped it.
Play number 3, it rolls towards touch. Ah, yes. Cleary back to his absolute best in the first half here in Sunday footy. That's Luron Patea.
He's a big unit.
He's fit there, and he's got the try! Luron Patea, fresh out on the ground. Here's Patea again. There's a little gap there in the line. It's shut at the last minute, but he's able to offload Summit, and who can he give it to? It goes to Blaze Talangi. Talangi trying to stretch out. A centimetre short, almost in the exact same spot where Patea scored. Cleary has a look, takes them on himself. Nathan's got them, and the Panthers have got a second.
We've seen that before.
That's grand final like. There's the last try in the grand final.
That was identical.
Yeah.
The first half dominated by the brilliance of Nathan Cleary, who bounced back to his absolute supreme best. 6 more tackles Brisbane's way.
He's off.
Unchanged. The Panthers on the march once again. Blaze Talangi, good hands. Garner on to Jenkins. He's over for his first try of the year. This is the Penrith we've all come to know. Oh, bang! The Broncos are barely clinging on here. Cleary to Edwards, out to Garner, through the hands. Jenkins stretches out. And he thinks he's got a double.
Well, I hope Nathan Cleary isn't getting paid by the touches.
Oh, how was this shot from above the post? And the kick is appropriate to match. Some more security around their defence. You find it hard to see them competing at the back end of the year as Hunt chips and chases himself. The fans are blowing up that he was taken out, but it appeared to be a reasonably fair contest.
And a roll by the Roosters, beaten by the Warriors.
Smith, what an offload. Cleary backing up. He kicks ahead, and it's tapped over the back in a last-minute bit of desperation. Oh, what a ball. Selwyn Cobbo with another piece of wizardry. Staggs trying to position his outside man, Mariner. He keeps it alive. Unfortunately, it's a bloke in the wrong jumper.
Go Selwyn.
And now Selwyn Cobbo kicks and chases. He might get a bounce here. Oh, well done. Alamotti put himself between Cobbo and the ball and picks it up and runs it back to the halfway himself.
Yeah, he used his body well there, Paul Alamotti.
A result that has the rest of the Premiership on notice. 32-8. They have floored the Broncos.
Immediate thoughts on the performance?
Obviously happy. Thought it looked like it's the sort of performance that we like to that we can be proud of. So
You're back. Panthers back.
back to what?
Right. Back to I suppose what we've got to become accustomed to over the last 4 months. Was that returning?
Well, to answer your first question, we're a new team, so we're just still trying to find our way, and so that would help. Some similarities to the game 2 weeks ago against the Roosters, where we had to struggle through the first half. And we did that, and that's sort of like the making of the game. So, if it's a turning point, I don't know. Like 2 weeks ago was a good game. Last week, first half wasn't great, but Manly played well. So, I don't know.
Was it that defensive resolve, and they took their take on the penalty goal? Was it that though that gave you the confidence to start playing the type of football that you did from that point on?
It probably gave us a little bit of confidence, but we did the same thing just before, so they probably got a bit of confidence out of that themselves. I think they kicked the penalty goal to go to 8-8, wasn't it? I thought at the start of the game, we were under the pump, under a fair bit of duress, and as much as they scored the first try, I actually felt like we were getting a little bit of confidence out of the way we were defending. Obviously, we weren't winning the field position battle. They were doing a really good job of sort of camping us down that end with the kicking game, but so we're getting get a good feel out of that. Disappointing, obviously, in the first try, but then I don't know. I just felt like we were growing as the game, growing confidence as the game was going on. Felt like we were picking our moments. Blokes were shooting out of lines at right times. I thought we were defending really well on an edge. You can sort of feel that we were growing in confidence. Now probably losing a little bit, so we probably haven't had that too much this season where that's been the case. But it was certainly a good feeling tonight.
What about Nathan? That was a proper masterclass tonight. I take it you would have enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
Just before half time, were you transformed back to the 23 grand final of that try that he scored? You're really similar to him. Yeah, did that night?
Definitely was. Yeah, watching it from the same position. Exactly. Yeah. So that was a good omen. I don't know. Yeah, no, it was good. It was good to see him play well. I think. I feel like he's been playing well anyway. Like, as a team, we haven't been just clicking together, functioning as well as we could, but we're still trying to find our way, as I said. So, yeah.
We always ask you, Isaiah, about Nathan. When you see him run a performance like that, it's your trump card. It's pretty special, isn't it?
Well, it just helps in the moments, doesn't it? So obviously kicks the 40-20, gets us down there. So just the way he was getting us around the field. Like I've touched on, I don't think he's been playing well. So, but obviously off the back of losses, that's probably where question marks happen. But sort of internally, we know he's been playing well. It's just like I haven't touched on, it's not clicking well. But just he was a part of all the big moments tonight, which is nice. So, thought offensively, his edge himself as well was really good. But then, just obviously, like I touched on, just picking his moments. 40-20 was big, kicking game. Thought we did that well, kicked early well, and responded to that for the most part. That was nice. But it was nice to see these flowers over the try. It was pretty good.
Was there anything you saw this week or on game day that made you think a performance like that, a really complete 80-minute performance, was coming to?
I think we said it the other day where I've actually been training quite well the last 3 or 4 weeks. I've actually had a real good block of training. I've said this before. There's reasons for why we are where we are, but part of that was just a lack of training earlier in the season. And when you're trying to they've got a new team and there's different combinations and guys coming in and out, that actually hurts you, especially in the NRL. It's so even. So if you're a bit clunky or you're not quite connecting in attack and defence, then you can lose games. So it's definitely improved because of that. But I don't really think we're that far off anyway. So there's nothing really other than that.
Talk to us about Leron Mateo. I think a few people upstairs today in the press box started to pose that guy maybe for the first time. What have you seen in him since he's been at the Panthers?
Nah, he's a secret, man. I can't talk to him. There's some green shoots in our team, and he's one. So he debuted last year. I think maybe played 3 games or something. Played in Vegas, and he just went back and played cup and started dominating at that level. And just thought the time was right, and he stepped up against a pretty serious forward pack there. So give him a lot of confidence. So hopefully keeps his head down and keeps getting better.
Is Brian Tyler a chance for next week potentially?
Yes, he is.
And Gillen came off at the end. Is he all right? Or?
Yeah, he just had a bit of a cramp in his hammy. So that was just the luxury of being able to do that. That was all. He's fine.
performance you wanted, Madge, and obviously you must be pretty disappointed by what happened tonight out there.
Yeah, it was disappointed, obviously, but we'll take a fair bit out of that. It's never nice, losing like that, because the effort that the players are putting in and what they're learning about how we want to play. We didn't, unfortunately, get the game that we wanted tonight, and we had an opposition that sort of turned the screws a little bit on us, which we'll get a lot from now.
Are you disappointed with your midfield, Madge? Do you feel there's been a few teams this year that have not been in front door? Do you want to see more aggression?
Yeah, there's probably some learnings there that probably take me a bit longer to explain, but there were some really good moments at the start of the game, but it's just learning how to do it longer. We put in a good start. We obviously we dropped the ball, but we climbed back into it, and then we sort of found the game that we want to play. But it's being able to do that for longer periods of time, and that's something there that we'll discuss as a playing group about how to go the longer version of being able to get the success in what this competition asks of you. That's the thing, is being able to play the longer game. And they were able to do that on us, unfortunately, as the game sort of was played out.
Renato, you were as Matt said, you were dominating for probably the first 20 minutes, and then just can you explain how it just turned, I suppose?
Yeah, I'll probably put my hand up there. I obviously didn't have one of the greatest games, but like Matt said, it's a learning. A few things I got wrong out there and put the team under a bit of pressure, so I'll wear that one, get back to training, work hard, and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Is there a mental hurdle for you against this team?
No. You can write all the headlines and everything you want, but none of that. I'm turning up week after week and try and put the best performance in, no matter who you're playing against. So,
can you talk to us about that sort of 15-minute period before half-time where you guys are just up their end for a really long time, come away that penalty goal, but then as soon as they're down the other end, they score twice? That's a real crucial.
Yeah, I'll take that. That was on me, that. I won't go into the details of that, but there was areas there, myself as a coach. I learned a lot about my players. I'm going to wear that part of the game. So you can write however you want on that one, but that period of the game there, I'm going to wear that in what was played out there.
Why's that? Why are you wearing it?
Look, they're interchanges, plays, so I won't go into detail about it, but that's the part of what I'm learning about this playing group, and they're good to coach. And that was an area where I know in the game, if I had my time again, I'd be able to change a few things there. And then we're not talking about the same thing, because we put a lot of work into what we wanted to do. But as I said, we've got to play longer periods of that. And then I'll take a little bit of.
Have you made a decision yet whether or not Ezra will come back into the side next week?
No, not yet. No, I'll go through this game and work out which way we'll go.
Imagine it's hard to wrap an opposition player, but Nathan Cleary worked with him in the past. What do you make of his?
Yeah, well, he's got that in him, hasn't he? So that's this time of year too where they start to rise. But look, credit to him. He played a good game. And it takes the pressure. They built pressure on us, and unfortunately we didn't capitalise when we had the pressure on. So we need to be better there. But as a coach, I got a lot out of that game, I've got to say. Just understanding the players and what we need to do. So I'll actually enjoy, albeit having to deal with the points being scored against us. I'll enjoy actually learning more around us as a team. I learned a lot about the team, myself, everything tonight. It was it's not nice losing, but I'll get a fair bit out of this one.
Is one of the things that maybe you're talking about reflecting on the decision to take the penalty, the 2 points?
No, Brad. I'll talk to the players about what we're talking about with that space.
And after that?
Towards the back end of that first half, there were things there that I know this team's capable of doing, and I've got to execute that myself.
Did you feel like shades of the grand final with some Cleary's plays there? Almost carbon copy plays of what he did that night?
Yes and no. I mean, cut back for that try, it's similar to the grand final, but he's a classy player. He comes up with some great plays out there. He's an integral part of that team and the reason why they've had so much success. So it's always good going up against him. He's obviously the elite in the game at the moment, and you always want to test yourself. Unfortunately, I didn't get it right today.
And just on his role, do you feel like he's physically ready to play first grade next week if you need him to?
Yeah, he'll be ready to play if he was called upon. Yeah, he's worked really hard in the background, and I guess until you actually play in games, you can't qualify in that. But he's done everything he possibly can to give himself the opportunity to come into selection.
And will you involve someone like Adam in those conversations? Obviously, you've got a few options there, and maybe some might work better than others next year.
I talk to my leaders all the time about how the team looks and what we're doing, and what we're moving towards as well. Thanks, guys.